Thanks for joining me today. I'm pretty excited actually. Putting together my first instructional video. Gonna do some restoration work and some customizing to this Air Max 90. I picked it up at a thrift store. It was originally $12.99. I think it was a half off sale, so I got it for $6.50. Just a little creasing on the toe box. Otherwise, I think it had tons of potential. Figured let's give it a shot. Now that we got the insoles out and the shoelaces off, we're gonna do a little bit of prep work. So one of the most important steps to insert these shoe trees is gonna help give it back its shape, take some of those creases out of the toe box. So I got them in for the final wash cycle. 22 minutes in cold water. Let's see how they come out. Welcome back. Sorry it took so long. These shoes took a couple days to dry. I'm really starting to like how they're coming out. Why don't we move on to the next step? Happy to say they came out brighter than they went in. They're starting to get the original shape back, and as you see, we got most of the creases out of the toe box. For the next step, we're going to place this wet towel on top of the sneaker. The shoe tree and wash do a really good job removing some of the creases. For any deep stubborn ones that remain, hopefully this iron will be able to smooth them out. In order to move along, and due to some separation between the outsole and the upper, we're going to have to add some adhesive a little later. So we're going to start by taking this solvent and we're going to remove the factory finish. We're going to apply it gently and make sure we cover every inch of the shoe. So in order to avoid getting glue all over the place, we're going to tape up the upper and the midsole to avoid making a mess. To get us to our next step, I placed a little rubber cement on the tip of an owl, and I'm going to place it ever so gently just in the areas that I need it. Now time for some heat. We're going to help dry the glue and make sure the two parts are secure and pressed tightly up against one another. So now that the glue is dry, I can't wait to see what it looks like. Here we are on the final stretch. Thanks for sticking with me. The outsole repair we did came out pretty good. Now we're past that point, let's move on to the next step. To get this area ready for paint, we're going to take this 1000 grit sandpaper and we're going to apply it to the edges of the material surrounding the scuff. We'll do this so that when we put the paint down a little later, it goes on evenly and covers the surface completely without any imperfections that are visible. Next, I'd like to paint the midsole, but first we're going to have to take off the old paint using acetone. Now it's time to apply a little bit of tape above the midsole. I'm going to start off using this angled brush and a little bit of white leather paint. So now that we got the midsoles painted white, we could remove the tape. Let's do a quick review. We took off the old paint from the midsole using acetone. We taped off the upper. We laid down a fresh layer of white paint. Now we're going to paint this area around the air bubble black. So we've got the areas around the bubbles painted. Now for the reveal. So off camera, we got the uppers taped up so that with this airbrush we can start painting the sock liners. So I think they're starting to come out pretty good. We have 2 more colors to go. We're gonna start applying white paint to the uppers. We're gonna cover some of those scratches that we sanded down earlier in the video. So I got them done. It was a lot of fun sharing it with you all. Hope you guys like them. Excited to hear what you think.